Hello, Shalom. Welcome to part 133 of Daily Bread. We'll be reading from the Scriptures 2009 version. We'll be reading Numbers chapter 28, 2 Kings chapter 18, Psalms 129, Proverbs 13, and the book of Romans chapter 2. Numbers chapter 28 is on page 173. If you're following at home there, I encourage you to read your own. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the children of Israel, and you shall say to them, Take heed to bring my offering, my food, for my offering made by fire as a sweet fragrance to me at their appointed time. And you shall say to them, This is the offering made by fire which you bring to Yahweh, 2 male lambs, a year old, perfect ones, daily, a continual ascending offering. The one lamb you prepare in the morning, and the other lamb you prepare between the evenings. With 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil. A continual ascending offering which was offered at Mount Zion for a sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to Yahweh. And its drink offering, 1/4 of a hin for each lamb. Pour out the drink to Yahweh as an offering in the set-apart place. And the other lamb you prepare between the evenings, as the morning grain offering and its drink offering. You prepare it as an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Yahweh. And on the Sabbath day, two lambs, a year old, perfect ones, and 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil, with its drink offering. And the ascending offering for every Sabbath, besides the continual ascending offering and with its drink offering. And on the beginning of your new moons, you bring near an ascending offering to Yahweh, 2 young bulls and 1 ram, and 7 lambs a year old, perfect ones. 3/10 of a fine ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil for each bull. 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil for the 1 ram. And 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for each lamb, as an ascending offering of sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to Yahweh. And their drink offering is a hin of wine for a bull, and 1/3 of a hin for a ram, and 1/4 of a hin for a lamb. This is the ascending offering for each new moon throughout the new moons of the year. And 1 male goat as a sin offering to Yahweh is prepared, besides the continual ascending offering and its drink offering. And in the first new moon, on the 14th day, is the Pesach. And on the 15th day is the new moon festival. Is a festival. For 7 days unleavened bread is eaten. On the first day is a set-apart gathering. You do no servile work. You shall bring near an offering made by fire as an ascending offering to Yahweh, 2 young bulls and 1 ram, and 7 lambs a year old, perfect ones. They are for you. And the grain offering, fine flour, mixed with oil, prepared 3/10 of an ephah for a bull, and 2/10 ephah of a ram. Prepare 1/10 of an ephah of each for the lambs, and one goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you. Prepare these besides the ascending offering of the morning, which is for a continual ascending offering. According to these, you are to prepare the food of the offering made by fire daily for 7 days, as a sweet fragrance to Yahweh. It is prepared besides the continual ascending offering and its drink offering. And on the 7th day you have set apart gathering. You do no servile work. And on the day of the first fruits, when you bring a new grain offering to Yahweh at the festival of Shavuot, weeks or oaths. You have a set apart gathering, you do no servile work. And you shall bring near an ascending offering as a sweet fragrance to Yahweh 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs a year old, and with their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for each bull, 2/10 for each one the ram, 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, 1 male goat to make atonement for you. Perfect ones they are for you. Prepare them with their drink offerings, besides the continual ascending offering with its grain offering. Moving on to 2 Kings chapter 18 on page 403. And it came to be in the 3rd year of Hosea, son of Elah, sovereign of Israel, that Hezekiah, sovereign of Ahazah, sovereign of Judah, began to reign. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Abi, the daughter of Zechariah. And he did what was right in the eyes of Yahweh, according to all that his father David did. He took away the high places, and broke the pillars, and cut down the Asherim, and broke into pieces the bronze serpent which Moshe had made. For until those days the children of Israel burned incense to it, and called it Nashim. And he put his trust in Yahweh, Elohim, and of Israel, and after him was none like him among all the sovereigns of Judah, nor who were before him. And he clung to Yahweh. He did not turn away from following him, but guarded his commands which Yahweh had commanded Moshe. And Yahweh was with him. Whenever he went, he acted wisely. And he rebelled against the sovereign of Ashur, and did not serve him. He struck the Philistines as far as Azur and its borders, from Watchtower unto the walled city. And it came to be in the 4th year of sovereign Hezekiah, which was the 17th year of Hoshea, son of Elah, sovereign of Israel, that Shalimar, sovereign of Ashur, came up against Samaria and besieged it, and they captured it at the end of 3 years. In the 6th year Hezekiah, that is the 9th year of Hoshea, sovereign of Israel, Samaria was captured. And the sovereign of Ashur exiled Israel to Ashur, and placed them in Halah and Habor, the river of Gozan, and in the cities of Medes, because they did not obey the voice of Yahweh their Elohim, but transgressed his covenant, all that Moshe, the servants of Yahweh, he had commanded. And he did not obey nor do them. And in the 14th year of sovereign Hezekiah, Sanjib, sovereign of Ashur, came up against all the walled cities of Judah, and captured them. And Hezekiah, sovereign of Judah, sent to the sovereign of Ashur at Lachish, saying, I have done wrong. Turn away from me. I shall bear whatever you impose on me. And the sovereign of Ashur imposed upon Hezekiah, the sovereign of Judah, 300 talents of silver, and 30 talents of gold. And Hezekiah gave them all the silver that was found in the house of Yahweh, and the treasuries of the sovereign's house. And at that time Hezekiah cut off the doors of the Hekel of Yahweh, and the doorposts which Hezekiah, sovereign of Judah, had overlaid, and gave it to the sovereign of Ashur. And the sovereign of Ashur sent the Tartan and the Rabbis and the Rabesh from Lachish with a great army against Jerusalem to sovereign Hezekiah. And they went up and came to Jerusalem. And when they had come up, they came and stood by the channel of the upper pool, which was on the highway to the launderer's field. And they called to the sovereign, the Eliakim son of Hilkiah, who was over the household of Shebem the scribe, and Joab son of Ashiph the recorder came out to them. And Rabshakeh said to them, Please say to Hezekiah, Thus said the great sovereign, the sovereign of Ashur, that what is this trust in which you have trusted? You have spoken of having counsel and strength for battle, but they are only words of the lips. And in whom do you trust, that you rebel against me? Now look, you have put your trust in the staff of this crushed reed, Mistram, on which if a man leans, it shall go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh sovereign of Mistram to all who trust in him. But when you say to me, We trust in Yahweh our Elohim, is it not he whose high places and whose slaughter places Hezekiah has taken away, and said to Judah and Jerusalem, Bow yourselves before this slaughter place in Jerusalem? And now I urge you, give a pledge to my master, the sovereign of Ashur. Then I give you 2,000 horses, if you are able to put riders on them. And how do you turn back the face of our commander, of the least of my master's servants, and trust in Mistram for chariots and horsemen? Have I come up without Yahweh against this place to destroy it? Yahweh said to me, Go up against this land, and you shall destroy it. Then Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, and Shalom, and Joab to the Yahim, Please speak to your servants in Aramaic, for we understand it, and do not speak to us in the language of Judah, in the ears of the people of the wall. And Rashi said to them, Has my master sent me to your master, and to speak these words, and not the man sitting on the wall, to eat with their own dung and drink their own urine with you? And the Rebbe stood and called out with a loud voice in the language of Judah, and spoke and said, Hear the word of the great sovereign, the sovereign of Ashur. Thus said the sovereign, Do not let Hezekiah deceive you, for he is unable to deliver you out of his hand. And do not let Hezekiah make you trust in Yahweh, saying, Yahweh shall certainly deliver us, and this city is not given into the hand of the sovereign of Ashur. Do not listen to Hezekiah, for thus said the sovereign of Ashur, Make peace with me by a present, and come out to me, and let each of you eat from his own vine, and from his own fig tree, and each of you drink of waters of his own cistern, until I come. Then I shall take you away to a land like your land, a land of grain, a new wine, a land of bread and vineyards, a land of honey, olive trees and honey, and live and not die. But do not listen to Hezekiah when he misleads you, saying, Yahweh shall deliver us. Has any of the mighty ones of the nations at all delivered its land from the hand of the sovereign of Ashur? Where are the mighty ones of Hamath and Arpach? Where are the mighty ones of Shephim and Hena and Awana? Did they deliver Samaria from my hand? Who among all the mighty ones of the lands had delivered their land out of my hands, that Yahweh should deliver Jerusalem from my hand? But the people were silent and did not answer him with a word. For the command of the sovereign was, do not answer him. And Eliakim, son of Heliqui, who was over the household of Shabim, the scribe, and Johan, son of Ashim, the recorder, came to Hezekiah with their garments torn, and they reported to him the words of Rabish. Psalms 129 on page 721. Often they have distressed me from my youth. Let Israel now say, often they have distressed me from my youth. But they have not overcome me. The plowers plowed on my back. They made their furrows long. Yahweh is righteous. He has cut the cords of the wrong in two. Let all those who hate Zion be put to shame and turn back. Let them be as the grass on the housetops, which withers before it grows up, that it shall not fill the reaper's hand, nor the sheaves fill the binder's bosom. And those who pass by shall not say, the blessing of Yahweh be upon you. We have blessed you in the name of Yahweh. Proverbs 13 on page 740. A wise son accepts his father's discipline, but a scoffer shall not listen to rebuke. From the fruit of the mouth a man eats the good, and the desire of the treacherous is for violence. He who watches over his mouth guards his being, but he who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. The being of the lazy one craves but has not, while the being of the hard workers are enriched. A righteous one hates a lying word, but a wrong man is lonesome and comes to shame. Righteousness watches over him who is perfect in the way, but wrongness overthrows the sinner. There is one who makes himself rich, yet has none at all, and one who makes himself poor, yet has great riches. The ransom of a man's life is his riches, but the poor does not hear rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wrong is put out. By pride comes only strife, but wisdom is with those who take advice. Wealth from vanity diminishes, but he who gathers by hand increases. Expectancy drawn out makes the heart sick, but a longing comes true is a tree of life. He who despises the word is destroyed, but he who fears the command is rewarded. The Torah of the wise is a fountain of life, turning one away from the snares of death. Good understanding gains favor, but the way of the treacherous is hard. Everyone with insight acts with knowledge, but a fool spreads folly. A messenger that is wrong falls into evil, but a trustworthy envoy is a healing. Poverty and shame are for him who ignores discipline, but he who heeds reproof is esteemed. A desire accomplished is sweet to the being, but to turn away from evil is an abomination to fools. He who walks with the wise shall be wise, but the companion of fools suffers evil. Evil pursue sinners, but good is repaid to the righteous. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is hidden for the righteous. Much food is in the tillable ground of the poor, but lack of right ruling sweeps it away. He who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him seeks him with discipline. The righteous eats to the satisfying of his being, but the stomach of the wrong is lacking. On the Romans chapter 2 on page 1091, 1091. Therefore, O man, you are without excuse. Everyone who judges, for which you judge another, you condemn yourself, since you have judged, practice the same wrongs. And we know that the judgment of Elohim is according to truth against those who practice such wrongs. And do not think, O man, you who judge those practicing such wrongs, and doing the same, and you shall escape the judgment of Elohim. Or do you despise the riches of his kindness and tolerance and patience, not knowing that the kindness of Elohim leads you to repentance? But according to your hardness and your unrepentant heart, you are treasuring up for yourself wrath in the day of wrath and revelation of righteous judgment of Elohim. And who shall render to each one according to his works? Psalms 62:12. Everlasting life to those who, by persistence is good work, seeks for esteem and respect and corruptibility, but wrath and displeasure to those who are self-seeking and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, affliction and distress on every human being working what is evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Greek. But glory, respect, and peace to everyone working what is good, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. The Greek is the Gentile. That would be the Romans, Ethiopians. For there is no partiality with Elohim. For as many as sinned without Torah shall also perish without Torah, and as many as sinned in the Torah shall be judged by the Torah. For not the hearers of the Torah are righteous in the sight of Elohim, but the doers of the Torah shall be declared right. For when nations do not have the Torah, by nature do what is in the Torah, although not having the Torah, they are a Torah to themselves, who show the work of the Torah written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness, and between themselves, though their thoughts accusing or even excusing. In the day when Elohim shall judge the secrets of men through Yeshua Messiah according to my good news. See, you are called a Jew, and rest on the Torah, and make your boast in Elohim, and know the desire of Elohim, and approve what is superior, being instructed out of the Torah, and are trusting that you yourself are a guide to the blind, a light to those who are in darkness, an instructor of foolish ones, a teacher of babes, having the form of knowledge and the truth in the Torah. You then, who teach another, do you not teach yourself? You who proclaim that a man should not steal, do not steal. Do you say, do not commit adultery? Do you commit adultery? You who abominate idols, do you rob temples? Do you make your boast in the Torah? Through the transgression of the Torah, do you disrespect Elohim? For the name of Elohim is blasphemed among the nations because of you, as it has been written. Joshua 52:5. For circumcision indeed profits if you practice the Torah. But if you are a transgressor of Torah, your circumcision has become uncircumcision. And if uncircumcised one watches over the righteous of the Torah, shall not his uncircumcision be reckoned as circumcision? And this uncircumcised by nature, who perfects the Torah, shall judge you, who, notwithstanding letter and circumcision, are a transgressor of the Torah. For he is not a Jew. He's not a Jedi either. For he is not a Jew, who is so outwardly. Neither is circumcision that is which outward in the flesh. But a Jew is he who is so inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in spirit, not literally, whose praise is not from men, but from Elohim. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible and talk to the Father.